become familiar with. And his story doesn't even end here. He'll come up again. A man by the name of Shimei. Remember Shimei, he was the guy who ran out as David was fleeing from the city. He was someone who was fiercely loyal to the household of Saul. And he's throwing rocks at David. He's cursing David. Remember Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, he says to David, let me go run him through. And David says, what have I to do with you, Abishai, the son of Zeruiah? Like, why do you keep trying to be violent and taking vengeance? He said, what if God told him to do what he's doing? And we see this great balance in David's life, that he was so confident in the call of God that he was willing to receive even harsh criticism from his enemy. Well, this same Shimei shows up, and he is now fallen at the feet of David saying, I am so sorry, please forgive me. And again, who shows up? But again, it's Abishai, the son of Zeruiah. And he says, let me run him through. Like, he spoke bad of the Lord's anointed. Now, I know what Abishai was doing there. Do you remember what David used to refer to Saul as? He referred to him as the Lord's anointed. Don't lift a finger against the Lord's anointed. And so Abishai now says, you're the Lord's anointed. And don't let this guy come and speak ill of you. And now he's groveling at your feet. Let's take revenge. And what does David do? David again sees the perspective exactly how he should. And he says, this is our victory today. We're going back into Jerusalem. No one this day is going to die. And he has to put Abishai in his place once again. Well, as he leaves from Shimei and he promises him that he's not going to take his life, then shows up Mephibosheth. Now remember, in previous chapters, Mephibosheth's servant, Ziba, he showed up to David and he bold-faced lied to him. He said, oh, Mephibosheth is back in the palace and he's rejoicing because you're off the throne. Well, now Mephibosheth shows up and David says to him, where were you? Why didn't you come with me? And Mephibosheth gives him the truthful story. He says, my servant, he left me high and dry. He said that he was going to load up a donkey for me and then he took off. Now remember, Mephibosheth is crippled. And so when David shows up, Mephibosheth hasn't taken care of himself. It's obvious that he's been in mourning. And David, I believe remorseful, says to him, all right, well, I will grant to you half of what I said Ziba could take. Now, in my opinion, I think what David's doing here is a little bit of what Solomon does to show his wisdom when he tries to divide the baby, and then the true mom says, no, give the baby to her. Mephibosheth's response is, give it all to Ziba. I don't care, as long as you are back on the throne. That's all I care about. Mephibosheth shows his love and his commitment to David. What a great picture Mephibosheth is of us as a believer looking to the Lord, saying, Lord, take everything away. I don't care. I just want a relationship with you. I know that you are on the throne. You have full right to do whatever you want in my life. You have already done so much more for me than I ever deserved. I give you everything. That was Mephibosheth's response. Then, as the chapter continues, this guy by the name of Barzillai, he shows up. And he's been a servant of David's in the palace, and he's an old man now. He's 80, and David says, whatever you want, I'll do for you. And Barzillai says, no, don't do it for me. He goes, I'm old, man. Like, I just want to die in my hometown. He goes, I'm so old, I can't even taste the food in your palace. Like, don't even worry about me. He goes, but please, would you show kindness to my son? And in this, we see that Barzillai, he didn't need for himself, but he was willing what he didn't need for himself, he was willing for other people to enjoy. I think sometimes we can have this hoarding mentality. Even if I don't need it, I'm still going to hold on to it. Rather, Barzillai said, no, give it to my son. Bless other people. I don't need it. What a great perspective it is. And then lastly, as David now is coming all the way back to Jerusalem, we find that there is once again a dispute between Judah and then 10 tribes of Israel. And they're both trying to lay claim to David. Judah says, no, he's closer of kin to us than he is to you. And then the 10 tribes say, yeah, but we have more right because we have 10 shares of David. And then in the end, we see that the words of Judah were fiercer than the words of Israel, which then leads into chapter 20, a rebellion with the 10 tribes of Israel. But before we're not going to look at that today. So we take a step back. And we see that in this return to the palace, that Shimei has reason to rejoice. Mephibosheth has reason to rejoice. Barzillai has reason to rejoice. Everybody here in the story thus far has reason and cause to rejoice. And yet, there still is a fight. It's amazing, even on days where we should be rejoicing, people can get so fixated on their desire and their wants that they don't join in the rejoicing. No, they're just throwing a Debbie Downer party. And I want to encourage you, if it's a day of rejoicing, if people around you are celebrating, be celebratory with them. Why do you have to constantly push the negative attitude? Don't do it. Don't find a conflict that isn't there. I want to encourage you, be someone of joy. Be someone who can show the fruit of the Spirit in their life no matter what they're going through. All right, God bless you guys. Love you guys. I'm so excited to celebrate Good Friday with you later on today. And don't forget again, Resurrection Celebration this Sunday at 10 a.m. God bless you guys, and we'll see you soon.